Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week, for the week of December 15th to the 21st, 2024, where I take a look at a couple of stories that caught my attention and give you my thoughts and my opinion about them. And we have 4 stories to cover, including the Cirtana numbers that have come out, and apparently a milestone the Nintendo Switch has actually hit that I'll admit, I wasn't sure they were going to hit this milestone anyway. We do have a comment made by the Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, if I'm saying his name correctly, about the whole argument about Xbox exclusive and exclusivity in general. We do want to talk about the controversy surrounding one of Naughty Dog's next new game, Intergalactic, and I want to give my take on that situation. And a comment made by Capcom in regards of the possibility of them digging up maybe some new IPs and everything like that. So, or reviving some of their old IPs. So, if you're interested where I got the source of these information, links will be in the description of this video. And if there's any part of this video you wish to skip to, timestamps will also be in the description of this video, or it will be at the beginning of this video, just in case you want to get which part to go to and everything. But before we get started, I like to do what I like to call the quick My 2 Cent, stories that kind of caught my attention, but not going to go into a huge amount of details. The first one has to do with the president of Sega making a comment during, I think, an earnings call about how Sonic Superstar turned out to be sort of a disappointment and everything like that. And I think there are a lot of factors you could point to how the game failed and everything like that. Some point to the length of the games, other pointed to basically the price point, and others pointed to it was being released around the time that Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out and felt like the game could have been released maybe not near as close to Super Mario Bros. Wonders. So there's a lot of factors you could point to, but in either case, it does seem to indicate that Sonic Superstar did not it did not do as well as Sega had hoped for. We also learned that supposedly there is a report coming out that there may be a certain game delayed for Xbox that was originally supposed to come out this year, but could be pushed into, not this year, 2025, but pushed into 2026. Some of the rumors are pointing towards right now, or at least some people believe it could be Fable, others are pointing to Perfect Dark. I mean, assuming this rumor is true, it could be any game. It could be even Doom the Dark Age, for that matter. So we don't know 100% for certain, so I will treat it as a rumor right now. Based on the article that I read, also myself, I've read before, I'm leaning towards the possibility it could be Perfect Dark. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct on this, and this is just my speculation and all, but I would say right now it is most likely going to be Perfect Dark and everything. We also learned that supposedly there is some analysts that are coming out, and one analyst believes that basically the Switch 2 is projected to be the clear winner in the next generation console. Now, granted, we won't know until the Switch successor or the Switch 2 comes out to know that for certain. But I can see why this analyst might consider that, considering how well the Nintendo Switch has done for Nintendo in general. Now, is it possible Nintendo could end up with another Wii U situation? Yes, that is absolutely not out of the realm of possibility, so I won't rule that out. But at the same time, it is possible they could find success with their next system. I don't know if it will be the clear winner. I think it's too early to tell, but I do believe the Switch 2 will, I think it will find success, but time will ultimately tell if that is the case or not. We also learned that the developer of the Boruto, that card game that really has blown up and everything like that, has basically called out the European, rating system, the PEGI system, mostly because of it getting an 18, PEGI 18, compared to other games out there which have gotten a PEGI 12, which the argument is that basically this game, that Boruto, if I'm saying that correctly, has supposedly gambling and all, even though it's really in-game currencies and everything, compared to other games that have actual microtransactions and everything like that. So it is a fair point for this developer to point that out and everything. We also learned that basically the director of Hi-Fi Rush basically is talking about basically, you know, Tango Gameworks, talking about basically how they are appreciated that this company has bought them out and everything like that, and looking at the possibility of a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. I certainly would be open to a sequel if it does happen. Don't know when or if or anything like that. Obviously, the Tango Gameworks has to certainly iron some things out. I mean, it remains to be seen if we'll ever see, also remains to see if we'll ever see Evil Within 3 and all, but it's nice to hear that the studio is still living on, and the sequel, I'm definitely hoping to see that happen if it does. Continuing with the analysis that predicted that the Switch successor will be the clear winner in the next generation of consoles, this same analyst also believes that there will only be room for one non-Nintendo console next generation. Now, if that is possible, that could be true or something like that, but at the same time, it's also possible that may not be the case though. Many are believing the most likelihood is that it will be PS6 will survive and Xbox will go away and everything like that, despite the fact that apparently while the hardware side is down, there's certainly still Microsoft and Xbox is still making a lot of money and everything like that. So maybe this analyst is true, saying it's true, maybe it's not. We'll have to wait and see what happens and everything like that. Right now, this is their speculation. They could be completely off, but time will ultimately tell. We now know that Sony is not owning this company or the firm that owns, Acquire or FromSoft or anything like that, but now has become one of the largest shareholders. I believe Sony now owns 10% of it, everything like that. So clearly, they're not going to buy the studio that makes, From Software, the ones that's done Elden Rings, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, or everything like that. But it does seem to indicate that they're more heavily invested in Kawadas, if I'm saying the name correctly, and that it may open the door to the possibility of, say, I don't know, maybe a Bloodborne 2 or something like that. So there is that possibility, but it looks like right now Sony's the largest shareholder, but they're not owning companies like From Software. Could that change down the road? That's a possibility, but for now that doesn't seem to be the case. We also learned that the developer Vanillaware, in regards of Unicorn Overlord, won't be getting any DLC, and a sequel isn't currently planned at this time. Now, that could change over time. However, I've seen, when you look at Vanillaware's track record, a lot of their games really don't get a sequel, or basically Vanillaware doesn't really do a sequel or anything like that. Or even, I don't think I've seen them done any DLCs or anything like that. So I don't really know Vanillaware as well known for that. I mean, that could change, and given the reaction that Unicorn Overlord got, it may pressure them to consider the idea of a sequel or something like that, but I'm not really surprised given Vanillaware's track record and everything like that. We also learned that there are some rumors about the possibility that basically several folks at Platinum Games or the veterans who work there may have left the studio. Now, one obviously is Hideki Kamiya, the person who helped create, the Wonderful 101 and the Bayonetta series and all. But it wouldn't surprise me if others have left, though. There has been questions about Platinum's future and so forth, and that certainly has brought up some interesting questions about where that company may go from there and everything. So we'll see what happens, though. Right now, there has been some mixed response with Platinum. There's been some debate. One of the reasons Kamiya left was because of the direction Platinum was going. Remains to be seen if another company will gobble them up. But right now, there are certainly some people, Platinum fans, are certainly questioning some of the decisions or concerned about Platinum Games' future. And last but not least, we learned that the founder of Famicom has unfortunately passed away. This person also helped bring, the Trial series here in the West, and the Yi series really kind of blew up here in the West and everything like that. So he was one of the founding members of the company, though. So very unfortunate this person passed away, and I will say that my heart goes out to his, friends and family and all. And in the movie and TV show part of the Quick My 2 Cent, we did get our first trailer of the James Gunn Superman movie and everything like that, with basically showing Superman, getting knocked down into the snow with, I think Superdog being there. I am curious to see how this one is going to play out and see how this one is responds to a lot of the audience and all. What I'm also interested to see is how Creature Commandos, which is on Max right now, ties into this Superman movie and all. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. We know it's coming. Superman movie is coming out next year, so we'll have to wait and see how audience responds to this one and all. We also learned that supposedly there are some post-credit scenes of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 that has unfortunately leaked online. So I guess those who haven't yet to see the movie, beware and all. And continuing with Sonic the Hedgehog, apparently it seems that Paramount is basically looking at moving ahead with Sonic 4 and everything like that, which in a way isn't really that surprising. There has been reports about the box office returns so far, and it seems Paramount's very confident given the response Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has gotten so far, between some of the critics to even some of the fans as well, though. I'm planning to hopefully see the movie this Saturday, and I'm hopefully to give my take on it, though, give my take on it soon. But, well, looks like Paramount is moving forward with it, though. We also learned that Disney basically explained why Star Wars The Allocate got canceled and everything like that. And I will say, this is from basically Deadline. I will say it is unfortunate, though, but for me, the series didn't really click with me and everything like that. It's not that I hate the idea of exploring the Old Republic and all. I don't. I think there were some neat ideas, but it's just the story just wasn't as good, at least for me, it wasn't, though. It is unfortunate we won't get a second season, but I mean, it is what it is. And also, I also don't buy those who are playing the woke card or the SJW, the feminazi, or cancel culture, or the DEI card. I mean, for those who are really playing that when the series was announced, though, to me, I feel like that card's been played one too many times and everything like that. We also saw the box office, reports of how the box office in terms of Mufasa and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and both of them seem to be doing very well so far. I think, last time I read, I think Sonic the Hedgehog, at least right now, has gotten up to like $70 million so far since the movie came out on Friday. It will be interesting to see how the movie does, especially during the Christmas holiday. Same with Mufasa, if I'm saying the name correctly, but it seems both of those movies seem to be off to a good start and all. And last but not least, we are learning the report that another Mummy movie is in the work from Universal. This one's being written by supposedly Lee Hornan, if I'm saying the name correctly, and it will have Blumhouse involved in it, though. That's going to be interesting, considering how we've seen some of the past movies before, having Blumhouse, which is known for doing like horror films, their take on it, though. So it'll be very interesting to see how that one plays out and all. Okay, with the quick my 2 cent part now done, along with the movie and TV show part, we'll get started with our first story, and this one has to do with Capcom, especially the idea of them basically maybe reviving some of their old IPs and all. Now, Capcom basically has been known for doing plenty of IPs that have been iconic over the years. Some of them ranging from games like Mega Man to basically Strider and all, Final Fight. So there are plenty of games out there. But most of these days, Capcom has been known for mostly games like basically the Street Fighter series, Resident Evil, and those kind of, and Monster Hunter, which has really blown up out there. And the company has gone through some rough times, but also has gone through some good times as well, and really have done very well. And they've released some pretty good hits out there, and also their games have done pretty well indeed. And during the Game Awards, 2 games were announced basically that Capcom was bringing that were in development. The first one is basically a brand new entry into the Onimusha series, which is definitely on my radar indeed. It won't be out until 2026, but I am very curious to see how that game plays and everything like that, especially since, you know, games like Neo that was released by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo basically became like a spiritual successor to the Onimusha series. So I'm curious to see what direction Capcom will go with this. Will it follow a Souls-like approach? Will it not? Is it a remaster, remake, or actually a brand new entry, maybe taking place after Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, which was the last entry in the Onimusha series? And also, I'm curious about that one. The other one, obviously, is Okami, basically a actual sequel to Okami, though the cult classic game that was released by Clover Studio, I think it was back, either 2005 or something, and then eventually re-released on other systems as well, though. I mean, that one is also very interesting to see that, and also Hideki Kamiya returning to Capcom, or at least with a brand new studio and everything. But it seems as though now Capcom is looking at the possibility of reviving some of their older IPs, that they're really open to the idea of reopening some of these older IPs that they have for over the years and everything. In the article, several articles on this, but this one I spotted was a comment made on basically on Video Game Chronicles. It reads basically is looking to bring back more legacy franchising in modern forms. One comment they made is, quote, in addition to regularly releasing major new titles each year, Capcom is focusing on reactivating dormant IPs that haven't had a new title launch recently, read a statement on the company's investors relations site. The company is working to further enhance corporate value by leveraging its rich library of content, which includes reviving past IPs like the two titles announced above, referring to the new entry in the Onimusha and Okami series, in order to continue to produce high quality titles and all. It also points out that they have done a survey basically asking questions about what games they would like to see, or including spin-off games they'd like to see a sequel or get a new one. And some have pointed to the most requests has been Dino Crisis and Mega Man and all. Personally, I think this is a very good thing, though. I'm glad that Capcom is now open to the idea of reviving some of their older IPs and everything. I think that is a very, very good thing indeed. And I do hope it does. The success of some of their games have done opens the door to seeing more of their IPs revive. Like, I agree, a lot of people would like to see a new Mega Man game. The last one, I think, was 2017, which was Mega Man 11. I mean, what about a new entry in the Mega Man X series? Or even, dare I say, maybe actually redo or try to figure out a way to do Mega Man Legend 3. I know a lot of Mega Man fans were disappointed with that game got canceled and all. I mean, a new Dino Crisis, I definitely could see that happening, especially given the success the remake of Resident Evil 2, 3, and even 4 recently done. I mean, imagine the idea of using the RE engine for a remake of Dino Crisis or Dino Crisis 2, or maybe actually do a proper, Dino Crisis 3 and everything like that, to even some other franchises, like maybe bringing back Breath of Fire, to even Strider. I would like to see that come back. Maybe a new entry, Final Fight, if, handle it maybe better than how Final Fight Streetwise was handled and all. So I think there's definitely potential if Capcom plays their card correctly on this, though. I mean, like I said, we also saw, Ghouls and Goblins saw somewhat of a revival as well, thanks to, the RE engine, too. So I think there are plenty of franchises that Capcom could look at to bring back for a modern audience and all. Whether that succeeds or not remains to be seen or anything like that, but I do think that there is an opportunity here to bring some of these old franchises for a new audience and all. At the same time, I'm hoping this doesn't discourage them to come up with new IPs and everything like that. Like, I enjoyed Goddess of the Path. I thought that was a nice new IP from Capcom and everything like that. So hopefully this doesn't discourage them from creating new IPs and all, but it does. I am pleased to hear that they are looking at bringing back some old IPs and everything like that. So overall, I think this is good. I'm glad Capcom's open to the idea of bringing back some new IPs, and I hope this also brings some encouraging news to other developers out there to maybe look at the idea of bringing back some dormant IPs. Like, I would love Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja to maybe do I mean, yes, we're getting a new Ninja Gaiden game in a 2D form, but I would be open to a new 3D Ninja Gaiden game, to maybe bringing back Winback or Rygar. That would be great. To even Square Enix, maybe try to bring back Parasite Eve or something, or Front Mission. To even with Nintendo, I mean, Kid Icarus I would like to see come back. So still very pleased that Capcom is doing this and all. Okay, we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2. And this one has to do with Naughty Dog's new game, Intergalactic, and some of the controversy, depending on how you want to look at it, surrounding that game. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my 2 cent video, and for this one, I'm going to be taking a look at Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic and everything. Now, Naughty Dog, at least for this generation, has been somewhat criticized in terms of some of their approach, ranging from releasing a remastered version of The Last of Us Part 1 on the PS5, considering that there's already a remastered version on the PS4, to, you know, a Last of Us Part 2 and everything like that, to, I mean, even some of the games, like they try to do a Last of Us multiplayer or online, you know, multiplayer type of game before that one fell apart, though. So there was some criticism towards, you know, the studio about doing that. But at the same time, it was also interesting to hear them basically release or show a trailer for their next game entitled Intergalactic and everything like that. And having seen the trailer myself, I am very curious about this game, but unfortunately, there are some that basically are hating on the game for, well, let's just say it looks like most, not all of them, I do want to stress not all of them, but it seems mostly those pushing like a far-right view to a certain extent, though. Now, for context, I do want to point out, though, we have yet to see some actual gameplay, though. I'm very curious to see what this game is from Naughty Dog and all. I did enjoy the Uncharted series, but it will be very interesting to see how this one plays out and all. So I'm very curious to see about this game. But, unfortunately, like I mentioned, there is certainly a lot of hate towards the game and all, almost on the scale of what we saw with The Last of Us Part 2. In some of the first ones, though, it turns out to be that Naughty Dog has completely turned off the comic sections, though, as in all. It points out in an article from First Square that a small vocal section of the gaming populace has unbridged on the new protagonist Jordan A. MUN appearance. It's worth noting the character is played by real-life actress Tella Girdley, if I'm saying her name correctly, who also features a villain in the Uncharted movie. She writes that she's incredibly excited to work with this game and with the video game gods himself, Neil Druckmann. Whether you view that or not, that remains to be seen. And the whole Naughty Dog team. Thank you, Neil, for seeing me and trusting this with this new baby of yours. I promise to make you proud, dude. The article also points out that many still haven't forgiven Naughty Dog and the Pacific series creator for the plot for The Last of Us 2, which leaked devastated prior to release. We maintain the sequel is one of the greatest PlayStation exclusives ever made, but the discord around it has been sour for nearly 5 years now. It is worth pointing out that I believe that is the plot for the next season of The Last of Us on Max and everything like that. Meanwhile, it does seem to indicate supposedly a fake leaker claim to point out a story, though, and it originally from 4chan, which, to be honest, it's known for being far right and everything like that. Basically about doing the rounds of claiming the leak, saying, quote, plot and gameplay details revealed below were sent to a handful of game journalists, the most notable of whom was including Jason Schreier, but they are debating whether or not to share it, reads. The so-called leaker said that the information sent from disgruntled Naughty Dog employees who displeased with Intergalactic's direction. However, Jason Schreier has debunked this whole thing and has pointed out that they have not received any information on this whatsoever. So my guess is that this is probably most likely fake, though. I could be wrong, but given that it's from 4chan, though, I would be extremely careful in terms of treating anything they say properly and all. So I am extremely cautious since it's from 4chan and all. And last but not least, though, there are some YouTubers have chimed in on this well, including Asmongold and basically another one by Hassan, as both have shared different views on this, though. Asmongold, according to him, is basically claiming that the trailer has negatively received. The announcement tends to flop commercially. Sometimes it predicts for the future of Intergalactic. He says, quote, making an ugly character actually is best a net zero effort in almost all cases negatively affected, he argued. Why would anybody do that? I think the mindset is putting someone in a game that a player actively doesn't like is actually more important than the enjoyment of the customer. I think the mindset is going to premature the entire game. I think the entire game is going to have a problem because it is fundamentally at face value, not designed for an audience. Meanwhile, another YouTuber by the name basically disagrees with that, saying basically mocks gamers whose enjoyment of a game depends on whether or not they're physically attracted to a character. Hassan, if I'm saying the name correctly, says, quote, people are not embarrassed or ashamed to say every woman needs to be flappable. Not every character has to be instantly gratification. You don't have to hyperly sexualize every female character. You should be ashamed to even have those thoughts. Hassan also calls out creators who take advantage of the anger and resentment that people have by grifting to this kind of commentary. They rarely get punished either for making the false prediction that a particular game is woke, he said. Baldur's Gate 3 is the perfect example of this. It's the most woke game that came out and everybody likes it. Everyone loves it. Why is that even considered woke? Because everyone loves it, though. I mean, I could say the same thing about, you could make a similar argument with Cyberpunk 2077 to be exact. So I will say I do have to agree with this YouTuber, not Asmongold, but the other person, though. I mean, look, do I think every game needs to have an attractive female character? Not really, though, but at the end of the day, it is the developer's decision on how they want to make a game and everything like that. Look, am I looking forward to Intergalactic? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not bothered that the main character is a woman, let alone not an attractive woman. At the same time, I'm also someone who enjoys playing, Stellar Blade. I think that is a good game as well, and have no problem with the game's main appeal, which is sex appeal and everything like that. So I think some of the controversy going through this that's coming over with Intergalactic, in my view, is being blown way out of proportion. Now, we don't know if the game will be good or not. It remains to be seen on that part, though, so we'll have to wait and see. It may be good, it may be not, but I do think some of this controversy surrounding it is being blown way out of proportion, especially those who are playing the woke card along with the DEI, feminazi, SJW, all the cancel culture, all that crap that's being played out. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not here to say you have to like the game or anything like that. I'm not here to say you have to buy Intergalactic or anything like that. If you think it's good, fine. If you didn't enjoy it, that's your call. I'm not here to argue against that. But I will say this: if you're playing the woke card, if you're playing the SJW, feminazi, cancel culture, critical race theory, DEI card, if that is your only argument for why you don't like this game or anything like that, then to me, that tells me you really don't have an argument to stand on at all. For me, those who constantly play the woke card, I believe, are just as bad as those who play the race card in situations that aren't racist. So I really think this controversy is being blown way out of proportion to a certain extent. So overall, I think this is another unfortunate example of the internet blowing a lot of things way out of proportion, though. Again, we don't know if the game's going to be good, and if it's something that clicks with you, that's great. If it's not something that clicks with you, that's fine. That's your call. But like I said, if you're playing the woke card, you really don't have an argument to stand on, though. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 3. And this one has to do with a comment made by the Microsoft CEO in regarding exclusives going forward for Xbox and all. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of my 2 cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at a comment made by the CEO of Microsoft and others in terms of the decision about Xbox exclusives and everything like that. Now, Microsoft has certainly taken what many would consider a controversial approach to basically gaming and everything like that, going into a direction that others have not done before, including basically putting their games on other systems. We saw this before where some games like Cuphead made their way over to the Switch and other systems as well, to even games like recently like Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment to have all done that as well and all. And it kind of has raised the question of what Microsoft is doing, and it has, for some folks, not all, but some have rubbed it the wrong way, as many consider it as Xbox is dead and everything like that, which honestly I'm not 100% sure, since this is a game company that was willing to spend almost like $78 billion or like almost billions of dollars to buy Activision Blizzard and all, so I'm not sure they're dead entirely and everything like that. But it has raised questions about why should you own an Xbox or anything like that, given some of the directions they have gone. And recently, the CEO, and also I think others have chimed in as well about the idea of exclusivity, including the idea of having no exclusivity and everything like that. In an article from Xbox Era, it points out a comment that Microsoft's CEO said on basically game files, basically saying comments like, "This is an Xbox ad and strategy. We are redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan. It's about able to enjoy Xbox on all your devices." Some of the comments that were mentioned were like, quote, "If I think about it, we chose the secular growth category entertainment, which we think is gaming, and said, let's double down on that. It's been a passion for Microsoft ever since. In fact, I think Flight Simulator launched before Windows or Office ever, and so it's like one of the longest franchises in the company, and so we said, let's take that joy of gaming everywhere." And that's why with these ads with Xbox Now, where we have redefined what it means to be an Xbox fan. It's about being able to enjoy Xbox on all your devices. So our strategy with Activision content, it now is in full force. We feel fantastic about the progress we made, and more importantly, I think long-term as a company, we could bring the best of AI innovation, cloud innovation, console innovation, PC innovation to build the best games that can be enjoyed by gamers everywhere, though. We also heard about, this also was rated by Jez Corden, who asked about exclusivity, saying that, quote, "Xbox won't have exclusivity going forward. Everything is time exclusivity at most." And meanwhile, Matt Booty, in an interview with Vanity earlier this month, was quoted as saying, "We are very much making the exclusivity and window decision on a game-by-game basis, and each of our studios is a little bit of a different positions. There are also the production timeline on a game, so the decision on space comes there first. We want to make sure that there is a great experience for our Xbox players, and then the gap when it becomes available on PlayStation is much a product decision as it is anything else. This is a game that was in production before we acquired Bethesda ever." Now, this has certainly split some Xbox fans and everything like that. There are those who aren't pleased with this decision, and then there are those who think this is not a bad strategy. Some think it's a risky strategy, but don't think it's a bad strategy at all. For me, I will say this though. I do think at the end of the day, it is Microsoft's decision whether they want to do this or not, though. And some may hate it, though, but it is their call, though. That said, I'm not 100% sure I buy the idea of no exclusivity at all. Now, I do think there is some argument against exclusivity that I do agree with, and I think I've heard, either Phil Spencer or others have said that I don't completely disagree with, like the idea of buy this version of a game to get this exclusive content that you cannot find in the other versions and everything like that. Some examples I think were, I remember when Assassin's Creed 3 came out, there was the PS3 version had an exclusive Benedict Arnold mission that you couldn't find on any of the other systems, although it's now available on the other systems as well. The same thing with skins and all with Call of Duty in general, though. So I do agree to some extent on some of the arguments against exclusivity. But at the same time, I also look at games like Bayonetta 2, for example, where in this case, Nintendo was like, okay, we're willing to 100% fully fund this game. In exchange, you make this exclusive to our system. To me, that I feel is exclusivity done right, that you're willing to put the money out to make this game actually happen and everything like that. So I tend to have sort of a different view on exclusivity. I don't know if I 100% share Microsoft's view and all. But in either case, it looks like they're doubling down this strategy. They're still working to make consoles and everything like that, even though sales of the consoles have gone down and everything. So I will admit this is definitely a risky strategy, but also a very interesting strategy Microsoft is taking. Whether it pays off or not in the end, that remains to be seen. But I will say I am sort of mixed on this decision in regards to exclusivity and all. So overall, as I said, this is the direction Microsoft wants to go. That's their choice they want to do and all. I'm just not 100% sold on the idea of exclusivity being bad in its entirety. Yes, I think there's some criticism towards exclusivity. I think there are some valid points against it. But like I said, I point to Bayonetta 2 as an example of what I feel like exclusivity when it's done right and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fourth and final part. And this one has to do with the Satana numbers that have come out this week for November 2024, and apparently a milestone Nintendo, particularly with the Switch, actually hit. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the Satana numbers, particularly November 2024. Now, obviously, we're going to be seeing what games did and did not do well, or what did well, basically, or where they ranked in terms of how they did in November, and probably the biggest news that came out of this had to do with the Nintendo Switch. Now, I will admit with the Nintendo Switch, I wasn't 100% sure it could overtake the PS2 or anything like that. Not that I wasn't ruling it out, but I wasn't sure considering if they were able to do it, especially if they could do it before announcing, the Switch successor and everything like that. But at least according to what Satana numbers are saying, apparently it seems that the Nintendo Switch has overtaken the PS2 here in the US and everything like that, which is a milestone. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it actually did, though. So according to this is from an article from Game Dev Report, and it talks about the gaming market and everything like that. It points out that in terms of game systems and everything, it says sales of game systems remain at the same level, even slightly increased. PlayStation 5 spending increased by 15%, being this month's leader. Nintendo Switch sold 3% worse than last year, and Xbox Series X and X 29% worse than the year earlier. There's been some questions about the Xbox Series in terms of the console sales, but obviously Microsoft's happy with other areas as well. And points out that, quote, the PS5 Pro accounts for 19% of all PlayStation devices sold in November and 28% of the money. Sony earned 50% more in dollar terms at the start compared to the launch of the PS4 Pro in November 2016, selling 12% fewer consoles. It basically points out that, and this is the big one, Nintendo Switch sales reached 46.4 million and surpassed PS2 sales in the US. Now the console is second only to the Nintendo DS. So yes, the Nintendo Switch has overtaken the PS2, at least here in the US though. Remains to be seen if it will overtake it in other parts of the world, but I certainly would say it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could overtake maybe overtake the PS2 in other parts of the world and everything like that. But yes, the Nintendo Switch, at least here in the US, has dethroned the PS2 in terms of lifetime sales and everything like that. In terms of the top best-selling games for November 2024, it has Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at number 1, Madden NFL 25 at number 2, EA Sports FC 25 at number 3, EA Sports College Football 25 at number 4, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at number 5, Super Mario Party Jamboree at number 6, Mario and Luigi Brothership at number 7, Sonic X Shadows Generation at number 8. Very curious about how that game will do in December, especially with the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie coming out and everything. And NBA 2K25 at number 9, Dragon Age The Veilguard at number 10, Hogwarts Legacy at number 11, Dragon Quest 3 at number 12. Okay, I mean, not bad though. Astro Bot at number 13, Marvel Spider-Man 2 at number 14, Silent Hill 2 2024 at number 15, Undispute at number 16, Metaphor ReFantazio at number 17, Minecraft at number 18, My Sims Cozy Bundle at number 19, and Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classic at number 20. Last month it was ranked at number 87, so kind of climbed up to the top 20 and everything. In terms of year to date, they have EA Sports College Football 25 at number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at number 2, Helldivers 2 at number 3, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023 at number 5, Madden NFL 25 at number 6, EA Sports FC 25 at number 7, EA Sports MVP Bundle at number 8, Elden Ring at number 9, Dragon's Dogma 2 at number 10, MLB The Show 24 at number 11, WWE 2K24 at number 12, Hogwarts Legacy at number 13, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 14, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at number 15, Tekken 8 at number 16, NBA 2K24 at number 17, Minecraft at number 18, NFL 24 at number 19, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 at number 20. In terms of the best-selling games on each platform, on the PlayStation side, it has Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at number 1, Madden NFL 25 at number... Oh, let's see. Can I get that? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Madden NFL 25 at number 2. EA Sports FC 25 at number 3. EA Sports College Football 25 at number 4. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at number 5. Astro Bot at number 6. NBA 2K25 at number 7. Marvel Spider-Man 2 at number 8. Dragon Age The Veilguard at number 9, and Silent Hill 2024 at number 10. Over on Microsoft, on the Xbox side though, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at number 1, Madden NFL 25 at number 2, EA Sports College Football 25 at number 3, EA Sports FC 25 at number 4, Dragon Age Sparking Zero at number 5, Dragon Age The Veilguard at number 6, The Elder Scrolls Online at number 7, NBA 2K25 at number 8, NHL 25 at number 9, and Hogwarts Legacy at number 10. And in terms of over on the Nintendo Switch, on the Nintendo platforms, we have Super Mario Party Jamboree at number 1, Mario and Luigi Brothership at number 2, My Sims Cozy Bundle at number 3, Sonic X Shadow Generation at number 4, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at number 5. It was at number 13 last month. The Legend of Zelda Echo of Wisdom at number 6. Hogwarts Legacy at number 7. Dragon Quest 3 at number 8. Nice it made it on this list. Just Dance 2025 edition at number 9. And finally, Super Mario Odyssey makes it at number 10. Last month it was at number 19. Over on the top, let's see, it was at the top best-selling games on terms of the top basically games in terms of active users for PlayStation. It has Call of Duty HQ at number 1, Fortnite at number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 3, Roblox at number 4, NBA 2K25 at number 5, EA Sports College Football 25 at number 6, Minecraft at number 7, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at number 8, WWE 2K24 at number 9, and Madden NFL 25 at number 10. In terms of the monthly active users on the Xbox side, you have Call of Duty HQ at number 1, Fortnite at number 2, Roblox at number 3, Minecraft at number 4, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 5, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl at number 6, a new entry, EA College Football 25 at number 7, NBA 2K25 at number 8, Rainbow Six Siege Tom Cruise at number 9, and Genshin Impact at number 10. Kind of interesting though. I'm curious to see how Genshin Impact does on the Xbox going forward. I do wonder if this opens the door for other games like Honkai Star Rail, if I'm saying the name correctly, or Zen Zero Zoneless, if that makes its way over too. And then finally, on the Steam side, in terms of ranked by monthly active users, PC side though, we have Counter-Strike 2 at number 1, Helldivers 2 at number 2, Call of Duty HQ at number 3, Monster Hunter Wilds at number 4, Baldur's Gate 3 at number 5, Deadlock at number 6, Rocket League at number 7, Webfish at number 8, which last month it was ranked at number 21, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl at number 9, and Boruto, if I'm saying the name correctly, at number 10, last month ranked at 22. So apparently taking away from this list though, it is nice to see that Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake, made it onto this list. That certainly is nice indeed. Definitely nice to see Metaphor ReFantasia, another Atlus game, make its way in here as well. And I'm glad that Mario Luigi Brothership did manage to do well indeed. So that certainly is nice indeed to see how those games make it on there. But obviously the biggest takeaway on this list is, of course, the Nintendo Switch overtaking the PS2's lifetime sale, at least here in the US and all. So that one was sort of the big one indeed though. Like I said, I will admit, I did not think they were going to overtake it though. I thought that that would be very hard for them to do, to see how many more Switches can they sell, but Nintendo managed to pull it off, and I will admit that is very impressive for them to do that though. Could they do the same thing with the Switch successor or the Switch 2? Again, remains to be seen at this time. We'll see how well the Switch 2, how consumers respond to the Switch 2 and everything like that, but still, it is basically very impressive Nintendo has managed to pull this off nevertheless. So overall though, very interesting to see some of the Satana numbers though. Glad to see Dragon Quest III HD 2D and Mario Luigi Brothership make it onto those lists and all. But obviously the biggest takeaway is, of course, the Nintendo Switch finally overtaking the PS2 in terms of lifetime sales here in the US and all. Okay, this concludes my my 2 cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the idea of Capcom reviving some old IPs all? Do you think this is a smart move on their part though? Are there certain IPs that you would like to see Capcom revive and everything like that? Do you think that they should still instead focus more on bringing out some new IPs like Goddess of the Path or anything? What are your thoughts about some of the controversy surrounding Naughty Dog's next game for Intergalactic? Do you think some of this is being blown way out of proportion at all? Do you think there's some merit to some of these criticism in any shape, in any form? What are your thoughts about the comments in terms of regarding Xbox exclusive? Do you think the CEO of Microsoft is correct in terms of taking this different approach about the whole exclusivity type of thing though? Or do you think it is a mistake on Microsoft's part though? And what are your thoughts about the Satana numbers? Were there any games that you were glad to see make it on the list? Were there any games you wish that they made it on the list? Were you surprised to see the Nintendo Switch overtake the PS2 in terms of lifetime sales? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal Me, Patreon, or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, so you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!